Good evening, one and all. Good evening, good evening. We've got my old partner in crime here, Mr. Shaneo, the Gooner. Shane, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good. All good. Can't complain. Had a nice day today. We're getting ready for the mother-in-law's been staying with us now for a couple of weeks. She's off back home to Spain now after her accident. She was in the hospital in Ireland for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. She's been with us now a couple of weeks, and it's been really nice. And yeah, she's shooting off back now on Saturday. My missus is going over for a week, so be me and the kids just having a bit of a home alone moment for the next week, popcorn and all that sort of stuff. I'm only joking. Nah, listen, it's all good. It's all good. Life be life, but I can't complain. Apart from dealing with these top gooners online, everything else in my life is sweet, Jez, so I can't really complain, mate. But yeah, thanks for having me on as always. You know how much I love coming over onto your channel.
And of course, at 8:30, I will be joining Shane on the Bruised Banana show later on. So, yeah, there we go. Be up, Marie. Marie, I got your message. Okay, leave it with me. Lee contacted me, so it's all cool. Anyway, Tony says, smash the like on the way and smash the lights up, people. Come on, smash them up. These don't cost nothing. Anyway, we're going to start in a slightly different way. This afternoon, I was going through the wife and I's book room. I wouldn't call it a library as such, and I found that. That's Scorcher Annual from Christmas 1971. And on there you got Martin Peters, Derek Dugan there, Northern Ireland player. You've got John Greig down there in the blue shirt, Scotland. And of course, the great Gareth Sprake, Wales international goalkeeper, played for Leeds United. And I found this. I thought, Christ almighty, I don't even. And it cost the princely sum of 10 shillings, if you can see it, and 6 pence, 56 pence. And the ironical thing about this book, right, is, of course, this was printed in the year 1970. It's Christmas 71. And there's not one thing in this book about Arsenal, right? Honestly, there's not one mention of Arsenal. The year before, they'd won the Intercities Fairs Cup, right? They'd been in the League Cup final. And at this time of year, in 1971, they were going for the League Division title, the League Division 1. And I thought, wow, that's a bit bizarre. But the thing that really I thought was the funniest, I hope I can show this, right?
You see it there, yeah.
It says the price of players, the price of fame. So, hang on. You've got there, bloody camera. Seriously, man. Useless. It's got, when you show it,
there you go.
It's got Alan Clark, Leeds United player, £165,000, right? Yeah, and it's got who's going to be the £200,000 player? Unbelievable.
Yep.
And
seen as outrageous. It was seen as outrageous at the time, Jez.
And it's got down here, £10,000 player was a certain in 1928, a Mr. David Jack, the Arsenal from Bolton Wanderers to Arsenal, 1928. The first £1,000 player, I've never heard of him, Alf Common from, he was bought from, this is 1905, from Middlesbrough to, sorry, I lie, Sunderland to Middlesbrough for £1,000. Wow. I mean, come on, man. Now we're talking hundreds of million quid here. You know what I mean?
And I think, Jez, with that 1,000, sorry to go to horse, I think with that 1,000 one, I remember reading before that there was an article done saying that football's gone. No, it's gone too commercial because someone spent £1,000 on a player. Imagine that now. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, their football boots cost more than that.
Some of them probably do. Some of them probably do.
You know, because we all know they don't go down to the local shop and have their boots. They have them they're built for that. They're fitted perfectly for them. A bit like going to what's it called in London? Lobs. It's where the royalty go and very rich people go have handmade shoes made. Of God knows how much they cost. Big up, Paul, man. Big up, Paul. But anyway, I just thought I'd drag that into the equation. Bit like the old your retro show, you know. So I'd even forgotten I had that book.
Joe, it is with the cover, Jez. Remember those old annuals that they wouldn't have the photographs? They'd have a lot of them. They'd have them drawn. Maybe more old school. They'd have them drawn on, but from the sort of 40s, they'd have them. They wouldn't really have the color photographs, so they'd have the back in the 40s and stuff. They had them drawn. A lad, gentleman that I used to visit for a loan. I volunteered to visit older people that live on their own. He passed away there a few months back, but he was 97. But he had trials and stuff when he was young. But he had one of those sort of, it would have been one of the old collector's cards of Ted Drake. And when he was a kid, he saw Ted Drake play. Saw him play live. When he was a young kid, he saw Ted Drake play. He was just coming up to 100 when I was visiting him there a few months ago. And one of his proudest things in football was that he saw Ted Drake play over in England. And I talked to him about that for hours, man. He said he was different to anything that we've seen to this day still. But that's a little... the last of them will be dying out that saw the likes of that, man. The last of them will be dying out that saw the likes of that. But I was very jealous of him having seen Ted Drake play in the 50s.
There won't be many people left, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Especially from watching them play at Highbury.
Yeah.
Sorry, Arsenal, of course, at Highbury. Yeah, I mean, my granddad used to tell me the great stories about those great teams and the players, and as a little kid I was like fascinated by it. But yeah, I mean it's a past time, isn't it? But anyway, moving on. Big up Marie. Hendon good bonsoir to you, Marie. We've got Fulham away this weekend, somewhere we haven't done too well in the last couple of years, man. Lost twice on the bounce, not a good start. And yet I see people putting it out there. I can't remember who it was, sent me a thing today on Insta that if we can beat Bournemouth away, if we can beat Fulham away, right, Arsenal will win the league. What do you reckon of
that? No. I know that these are normally our bogey teams, but these same people that were saying that we don't lose against the top six, we only slip up against the small teams. Well, we lost to Liverpool, so that one's gone. So even if we change the other one, it's always one or the other with this manager. I said after the Newcastle game, as I said, right now we need to win our next 5 in the league. No arguments. No, we got ripped off here by the refs. No, just 5 wins. Hopefully comfortable. That would be better. But if we just get 5 wins, then we can sit down and look at the next 5 and say, okay, now we need to win 5 again. And people say that's ridiculous, saying you need to win 10. It's a 3-horse race, Jez. And a 3-horse race, you need one period where you win about 10 in a row. You have to lead the other 2 behind, because if you fall behind 2 teams, it's so much harder to catch them. It's so much harder to catch them than to catch one team, because you keep winning, one of them always wins, you know. So with us, we have City away with 6 games left. And we need to, for me, we need, if they're the team that we're challenging, we need to be 7 points clear of them, because if we're 6 points clear and they can catch us on goal difference and they beat us, and they're only 3 points behind, with 5 games left to play, and this manager up against Pep, I'd have my money on Pep, even if he's 3 points behind. I just know that we'd stumble, because it's what we do under this manager. So when people say, oh, yeah, you're so negative, you're so this, you're so that, 19 competitions, the last 19 competitions this man has led Arsenal into, he's lost every one of them. People can say semi-finals, second. I don't care. You didn't win them, so you lost. Right? So the record is there that this guy messes up. It's in his DNA. So this game against Fulham, when I looked at the next 5 after the Newcastle game, this and Palace at home were the 2 where I kind of went, "Oi, they're tricky. They're banana skins." Fulham aren't playing great. When they're at home to a big team, I think that kind of goes out the window. They're one of those teams. They raise their game, especially at home. Craven Cottage is tight. You know, they're good at defending set pieces. Leno's confident. There's 2 or 3 players with a point to prove. Iwobi, Smith Rowe. If I was a manager, I'd be throwing Smith Rowe right in there from the start and saying, "You go get him, show him what you let go." So they've got pace on the counter, which has done us. It did us last season. I remember Kivior got done with a simple ball over the top. So if we go there and win, great. We just have to chalk off the wins now. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I won't believe that this manager will get over the line until I see that trophy being lifted, because as long as there's a mathematical possibility that we can throw it away, I will always believe that he'll throw it away, and nothing will change my mind to the point where even if we got over the line this season, next season, I'd still be wary of him because it's just what he does. So this is a massive game, massive game. Saturday evening / nighttime, under the lights, tight ground, the chance to put distance between Liverpool, all the ingredients that this guy normally slips up on. So, you know, I do think that we have a better chance than I would have thought before the West Ham and Newcastle games, but it's a potential slippery one. It's a potential slippery one for me, and I'll approach with caution, I suppose, is what I'd say. I would approach it with caution.
Now, this is the thing, right? Is I've seen today that Havertz may be back sooner rather than later.
Oh, God.
Now, this is the thing, isn't it? Merino, people are gassing him up because his performance in the internationals. Right. Sorry, no. He's playing for Spain, you know, a team with different players around him, different levels.
Different manager.
Yeah, exactly. Williams is agreeing with you, mate. Shane is spot on. We can't afford to let complacency creep in. It's all about consistency now. Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing is, my concern is this, Shane, right? If Havertz comes back and is ready to play, we know Arteta will revert back to type. Gyökeres will be on the bench. Havertz will be up top. And yet, I don't understand this at all. People are saying that we need Havertz because he's going to score goals. How many fucking goals has he scored this season? Have I missed something here?
It's crazy.
Help me out, people in the chat, and Shane. I mean, I've obviously been in a different time zone, man.
No, that's the narrative online is, oh, people don't know what's coming when Havertz was. But let's get a couple of things straight, right? He had only just come back from a grade 3 hamstring, which has taken down better players than him. Michael Owen for one, right? Saka's struggling since it. He was already slow. Oh, he made this bursting run in pre-season. Oh, he's back. He was getting chased by someone in pre-season who wasn't going to bust the cut to get back at him. It looked better than it was. Then he suffered another injury. So we're talking about a player that wasn't good enough, that has now suffered 2 long-term injuries. And people are saying when he gets back and Arteta puts him back up front again, we're going to win the league. He had him up front the last 2 years, Jez, and we didn't win the league. What's changed? All we're doing is going back to the team that hasn't won anything. We're just going back to a team that hasn't won anything because he'll end up with, say, Trossard, Havertz, Saka. We've had that. We've done that. Hasn't worked. He'll have Royce, Odegaard. We've done that. Hasn't worked. And he'll have Zubamendi instead of Partey, who is now in Partey's better. So we'll have regressed with this manager. All these new signings, and that will be his team. Oh, but Eze won't get in the team when everyone's fit. He won't get near the team when everyone's fit. He won't be near that first 11. Trust me, he definitely ain't starting in the middle, and he's not starting out the wing. Maybe at home to lesser teams. This manager will go all the way back to what he's done, and he will die on his stubbornness. We've said it so many times. And all the people out there getting gassed, and all the people telling me to go hang myself on X because I don't like Arteta, he will be the one that blows this. He does it every single. He will find a way to shoehorn Havertz back in. If it's not up front, he'll put him into 10 while Odegaard's out. And DJB has said it a million times. Havertz will be the hill that this guy dies on, and he will definitely be one of them. This manager now. Ben White's injured again. I got pelters again in the summer for saying that Ben White's career is ruined when he made him play for 3 months on his knee. He's never going to be right. That means that Timber now will be flogged, so he'll drop. And then we'll end up with Norgard or something at right back. This manager will find a way to blow it. And this Havertz being rushed back thing will be it. Unless he gets injured straight away again, this manager will destroy himself on that Havertz hill. And we just have to sit back and watch it and just pray that if it does go wrong, he gets fired. And it's win-win for us. Either win a league or leave. I win at the end of the season either way.
I totally agree with that. And the other thing is, right, is thankfully, I don't wish any player ill at all. I don't. But thankfully, they haven't got Odegaard, because I'll tell you right now, all I see from Odegaard is a player that just slows the pace of that midfield. And it's quite obvious to me, without him in our midfield, we're a little bit more pacey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, for me, not tomorrow, Saturday, I mean, Eze's got to start in that centre. He's got to be there because he brings pace. He's quick. He's more incisive. He doesn't pontificate and take too long. He gets the ball forward, and that is what we need to supply Gyökeres. My thing is, Shane, I don't think Gyökeres has been given enough support, and he's not been fed.
No.
Right, and a player like him is what I call the type of fox in the box type player. Works off instinct, works off the quick ball. He's got the agility. He's got the physicality to actually get through defence. He proved it against Leeds. Right, all right, okay. Leeds are a different. Respectfully, they're a different level, but he did it. So this is what we need now, and I honestly think, to me, if Eze and Gyökeres can link up and work together with Saka, Martinelli or Trossard, whoever's going to be out on that left flank, then that's could be potentially quite a devastating strike force. Because not only, in my opinion, I want to get your opinion on this, Gyökeres also has that ability to supply other players. Saka.
Yeah.
How do you break it down? What's your view on this?
Do you know what? It was one of the things I wanted to be proved wrong on. I wanted to be proved wrong on Gyökeres. When I said I wanted to sign him, there was two reasons. One, he was the best out there available. He's not the best striker in the world, but he was the best available. We got him at a good price. And I thought, again, it was win-win. Either he'll start scoring straight away and we can win something, or this manager won't be able to get a song out of him, which I knew would be the outcome, and he'll be found out. Now, Arteta being found out and another manager being found out are two different things. When Arteta gets found out, it gets buried. Nobody questions him on it. It's everybody else's fault. It must be Gyökeres. It must be the league. It must be the refs. It can be anything, but it's not. Why is this manager not able to get a song out of him? It's just like the Merino thing. You have Semiu out there today. I couldn't believe my ears when I was watching the short, saying that Arteta deserves massive credit for the way he's transformed Merino because he scores so many for Spain. So that his words, Jez, his words, man. His words. Really? He deserves credit for we'll be watching it on the Bruce Banana the short. Don't worry, it's only like a minute, but he he says that he doesn't get enough credit for the way he's transformed Merino into attacking midfielder. Look at the amount of goals he gets for Spain. Right? So he didn't say, look at the way Merino plays under a different manager. Why can't Arteta get a song out of him? He found a way to promote this manager. This is what, and you know what it is, just they're all doing it. All the big channels are promoting Merino, right? Yeah, unlocked him. That's what Flowers said. He unlocked him, right? They're all saying this. And you know what that means? That means that while Odegaard is out, Merino is starting a hell of a lot of games in midfield because these guys have been told to lay the groundwork for him. These guys have been told, get out there. This is what we're mainly going to be covering on the Bruce Banana. These guys have been told, you got out there, you keep bigging up Merino because Arteta is going to, most of the games while Odegaard's out, he's going to play the Merino, Royce, Zubimendi midfield that everyone was giving out about. And if you go out there and just keep saying he's an attacking midfielder now, keep saying and they're all doing it. They're all doing their job. They're all out there. AFTV will be all over it. Don't you worry. They'll be out there saying Merino's unlocked, Merino this, Merino that. And it's all to lay the groundwork for this manager playing him. And if people think there's not a conspiracy, again, we will be proving that later on the Bruce Banana. We all know it, but it's the same thing over and over again, Jez. So we all know Eze should start in the 10 against Fulham. And he might. If Arteta has any sense, he might. The ground is tight. Eze's good in those situations of just finding a little bit of space. But the way we see football and the way the genius Arteta sees football are two different things. So like every game so far this season, Jez, I think we're going to be more anticipating the lineup than the match. Because I found myself now, and in a bad way, nervous about it, going, what's he going to do this time? Is he going to play the three fridges? Is he going to play Eze out of position? So I think the only way that Eze starts in midfield, again, I could be wrong. I've been proved wrong a couple of times this season with his lineups, but I've been bang on more than I've been wrong. I think is if Merino starts up front and he drops Gyökeres to the bench for that, which I would not be surprised. at this point if he does it. But we'll see. We'll see when the lineup comes out. We'll know more about it then. I do think that Calafiori can be got at. I think Timber's in the red. I think Rice is in the red. And if Rice goes, Jez, that whole team falls apart. If Rice is out for 2 or 3 weeks, we're out of it. Whoa. 2 or 3 weeks or more, we're out of it. He holds everything together.
This is something I just suddenly thought about, and some of the people in the chat have just brought this into my head. With how Merino played for Spain the last 2 weeks, would you possibly think that Arteta would start him over at Eze?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I can see it happening. Really? No problem. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can see it. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's and he'd probably be justified by some of the fans for it, because they'd say, "Oh, look how many he scored. Look what he's done. Look what he's." But yeah, no, I'd be more. If I had to put money on it, if I was forced to put a bet on who he'd start, I'd be more likely to put my money on Merino starting. Maybe Eze out the left, but I can see him on the bench. I wouldn't be stunned. I'll put it to you that way.
That's a concern, mate. That is a concern. But yeah, I hear you. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, set pieces away to Fulham. You know,
yeah,
going with all the big lads.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He's a decent player, Merino. I'm not going to deny that. He's a decent player. But he's not the Messiah, is he? You know what I mean? For me, I'm sorry, for the Premier League, I think he's a bit lightweight. To be fair, I think he's knocked off the ball too easy. I don't think he's the sort of player that's going to support Gyökeres that well. So that does concern me. And as you said, you know, Craven Cottage is a very tight little ground. It's old school. It's a bit like the old Highbury, really similar. How the place hasn't fallen in the River Thames amazes me, to be honest. You look at that south stand, how it leans right out over the Thames. I'm thinking, I don't think I want to be up there, but it is what it is. It's a lovely little place. Awkward. We've lost there for the last 2 years, and I wouldn't put it past them. Right? I mean, I've got it down as a 2-0 win for Arsenal, but the poll I did, 68% people got Arsenal to win, but 32% have said Arsenal could lose. So
it's PTSD, Jez, isn't it? It's PTSD.
Yeah.
You know, we've been there. We've seen them do it. And as the Millets putting in there that Merino has scored 10 goals in 39 games for Spain and 8 in 34 for Arsenal. Yeah, but I think 7 of those have come when he was up front for Arsenal. He's got one from midfield. Sorry, 2 from midfield he's gotten since he's been at Arsenal. And one of them from open play when he's in midfield. So the rest came when he was up front. And I think when he started in midfield at Royce, we've won 1 in 10. 1 in 10 games he's won when he started in midfield at Royce. So, yeah, it just doesn't work. Sorry, Jess, to cut across you there. Just that.
No, not at all. Not at all, man. Not at all. I appreciate your input. Ace is going. I mean, this is an interesting thing. Knowing for Arteta, no management tactic, probably start Zupermendi, Rice, Mikel Merino in midfield. Well, you basically just hit the nail on the head there. That wouldn't surprise me at all. What would you rate on this Zupermendi? Shane, what do you rate on him? I mean, I'll have to be honest, mate. I haven't been that impressed.
Do you know what it is? When he was coming, I always said he's a very good player when he has time on the ball. He's one of the best when he has time on the ball. But when he gets pressed, he doesn't really have... Maybe he can adjust to it. Rodri had to adjust. It took Rodri time. People forget that his first season, he was making mistakes. But they had Fernandinho to come in and help him and stuff like that. So when he plays well, he's brilliant. But he has moments where he falls asleep. He needs to shake that. This isn't Spain anymore. You're not going to get all that time. When he gets high pressed, he's being found out. against Newcastle, against Liverpool, against United. He was shaky in those games. Against City, he was quite shaky as well. And then there's games where you look back and you go, he played okay. And then the online presence is, it was the best performance I've ever seen. So you have to push that stuff away. You have to watch the games. So we watch football differently to people nowadays. People nowadays, the youngsters, it's all about XG and all these numbers. They forget that the likes of Bergkamp wouldn't have had all this GA and all that stuff. But we watched Bergkamp. He was possibly the best player Arsenal have ever had. You know what I mean? So we've watched him, and the stats would tell you different. But with Zubimendi, if he can learn to embrace the high press like Rodri did, he could get even better than he was in Spain. Now, it's a big if, because it's very hard to do, but some players are able, in that position only, really, that Pirlo position, the Rodri, Zubimendi, Makelele type position. If you can learn to embrace the high presses in, know that it's going to come, shift to the side or make a movement that you lose the player that's pressing you, you actually have more time than you would have had on the ball without the high press, because you've lost the player that's marking you. You know what I mean? So you have more time to pick out a pass. If he can adjust to that, he could be amazing. It might take a season, but sadly, we don't have a season to wait. But he's been okay. He's been okay. The things I feared, i.e. getting caught in the high press, have come true. And the things I knew he'd do well, having time on the ball, he's done well. So, yeah, I've been sort of, I'm still on the fence with him, Jez, because nothing has changed either way. I knew he'd do well on the ball, and I knew he'd struggle with the high press. So I'm still the same sort of view I had in the summer.
True. Big up Marie and the mods doing the job. I'll tell you what, to the mutant that is in the chat, how about show a bit of man in you? Come on camera. I'll send you a link. Come on camera. Rather than call people idiots, fake fans and all that, how about come on camera and actually show that you're a man and stand up and be counted? Because I know you won't, because you're a little kid and you're a little boy that gets sticky bed sheets every night thinking about Arteta. But yeah, if you want to jump on, man, you're more than welcome, and you can come and have a chat with me and Shaneo in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Enlighten us with your Arsenal knowledge.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely. Big up Jared, man. Big up Jess and Shane. Shout out from South Africa. Big up to you, my friend. Thank you for joining. Somewhere I've never been, South Africa. Love to go there.
Yeah, I was saying that today, Jess. I was saying that today, this morning, that I want to go. So it's the exact same thing.
I'd love to go there. Anywhere down that way. Kenya, Nigeria, anywhere like that. But yeah, never mind. So the other thing I thought about here, right? I've seen a lot of criticism, right, for the fact that our midfield is, a lot of people calling it out. It's not great. We've got a great defence, but I find it quite odd that there's so many people calling out his Gyökeres. We should have gone for Sesko. Well, he ain't done exactly very well, has he? He's not exactly ripping it up at Man United, is he? You know? So, and he was a lot more money. A lot more money. So, let's be fair. And in fairness, Shane, when we bought Henry, that I'd never heard of, right, and I don't think many people had at the time, it took him a while to settle into the game. It wasn't really until Wenger stuck him out on that left wing that he suddenly came into his own. Now, that was, for me, genius working from a very, very, very good coach and manager. So I don't understand it. You got to sometimes let players settle down. Let's be honest, Van Persie, when he came up, oh, by the way, he came from the academy, of course.
Sorry, yeah, girls. That's a girl said he came from the academy.
I didn't know that. I thought he came from Feyenoord. But
yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, sometimes it does take a time to settle in.
Yeah.
So I'm not panicking. I think, okay, give him a go. What's your belief on him?
Again, it's what we sort of predicted in the summer. It's what we predicted in the summer, that he will struggle under this manager because it's the system. It's not his fault. If you like with the likes of X and all these, where all the mutants dwell, there's thousands of them, right? They love getting at each other. Chelsea fans going to Arsenal fans, and they have all these. They make all these clips piled together of Sesko missing chances for United and Joe Pedro missing chances for Chelsea and saying, "Ha ha ha, your striker shit." There's hardly any of Gyökeres because he's just had no chances. So there's no chance. There's no montages of him missing. He's had a couple of sort of half chances, but he had a sort of a one he should have buried against Leeds, and then he went on to score two, so it kind of hit it a bit. But he just isn't getting the chances. He's not getting the chances to score, so you can't really judge him if he's not getting the chances. So for me, I think he'll struggle all season. I think he'll still find ways to get goals here and there. There'll probably be a game at home to Burnley or something at some point where he'll bang in a hat-trick and it will bring his numbers up and people say, oh, it's all good now. But he's getting annoyed, and I don't blame him because there is videos of him making runs and not getting found. But the whole Sesko thing, Jez, it's another thing we predicted in the summer. These guys are so predictable, just like this mutant that keeps coming back in and spamming the chat. We know that he's 14 and he doesn't have a clue, right? But the thing is, your hobby is bouncing, is it? Yeah, bouncing up and down. The thing is, we knew that they would say the second that Gyökeres didn't fire under this manager's system, right? That they should have got him his striker, because this is what we were waiting on. We were waiting on Berta should have got Arteta his striker. So this is what they're going to. This is the new one they're going to go with. Berta should have got him his striker. Sesko looks average. Gyökeres is being made to look average. But yeah, look, with Gyökeres, give him time. But I just don't see how he's going to bang under these tactics. And this manager ain't going to adjust them. And we both know this, that when Havertz is back and fully fit, Gyökeres is out of the team. Gyökeres is out of the team as soon as he's back and fully fit. So he needs to start scoring now, which I don't think he will. You never know. He might go bang a couple over the next few games, but I still don't think it'll be enough for him to keep his place. So I feel for him. I really do. But do I think he's a bad player overnight? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a very good forward who just is being forced to play in a system that doesn't suit him. And that's really what it boils down to. And that's not going to change anytime soon.
No, that's a very, very, very good point. I think the way he's being utilised, he's just not suited to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that is his problem. And the fact we've got a midfield that, I don't know, to me, our midfield's misfiring. I don't think Rice is on the money right now. I don't think he's really the player he was a couple of seasons ago. Whether he's still carrying that injury, we'll never know at this point, but we will soon see. But Zupimendi for me, nah, bit too lightweight. Merino, brilliant. Yeah, great playing for your international team. You're scoring goals for fun. But what I want to see is you playing brilliantly for Arsenal. You know, that's what we pay big money for you. You know, and it's a bit of a concern. But it is going to be an interesting game on 5:30. It's 5:30, isn't it? 5:30.
Yeah.
5:30 Saturday. I just not sure. I'm not sure. What's your prediction, mate?
I would say right going now to predict it. I think 2-1 to us. I think 2-1 to us. I think we need to take the lead. I think if they take the lead, we could scrape a draw in injury time, but we could turn it around like we did Newcastle. But again, the same thing that these fans were saying that Liverpool, it's not sustainable for them to keep, winning in the last minute and stuff like that. We can't do that either. But we're a couple of injuries away from falling apart, and I do see them coming. This Christmas, coming into the Christmas period now, it's just, for me, it's impossible for it not to happen. But we shall see. I'd predict 2-1 now. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say 2-1. And that's with my head. I'd say 2-1. With my heart, I think every game this season I'm going to fear that something could go wrong because of everything that's happened. But I'll put it to you this way, Jez, a draw, we may as well lose. If we draw, we may as well lose if we draw. Draws killed us last season. nowadays in the Premier League with the points totals, draws ain't good enough. You may as well go for the win. You may as well go all out for the win. And if you lose 2-1 in a couple of them, but win the other 6 that you would have drawn, it's a lot more points. So I think if we draw, just write us off there and then. But we shall see. We shall see. I think 2-1 to us. My head is telling me. My heart's a bit. But yeah, no, 2-1 to us. 2-1 to us.
Yeah, I mean, Darren's saying Fulham have hit shocking form. I was going for a 1-1, but now I've changed my mind to Arsenal 3-0. Yeah, I mean, it's. I've gone 2-0. I'm sticking with that. I mean, but we have got some mutants out tonight. Obviously, is it half term?
It's the same guy. Same guy.
I don't know. Idiots, absolute idiots. Hendon Gooner said, Darren Sullivan, any news of Warren from Warren Talks Football? Not seen him. No, Warren's all right, man. He's still doing some streams. Well, I think he's all right. He did a stream at the weekend. Yeah, but I haven't seen him on any channels for a long, long time. I haven't seen Diesel either. I haven't seen Diesel for months, in fact. Jared saying the Fulham game is bound to be frustrating to watch. Yeah, I think it will be. Charles is saying, Jez, did you go after George Graham when he accepted illegal brown envelopes from Asians after those boring 1-0 Highbury wins, like it's done now after Arteta's every handbrake match? No, I didn't. I'll tell you for why. Shall I tell you for why? Because George Graham won shit. That's the difference. He actually won stuff. In the 9 years he was our manager, was it 7 trophies he won? 7, sorry, that's 7 or 8, one of the 2.
2 leagues, FA Cup, League Cup, Cup Winners' Cup.
Double, yeah, double.
Yeah, double. Yeah, double in the cups. Yeah,
Cup Winners'
7,
Cup.
yeah.
You know, that's the difference. That is the difference. Yeah, it wasn't great football. And he won the league at Anfield, which was a major, major thing, considering Arsenal hadn't won there for 14 years, 17 years. One of the 2. Somebody will put me right. So, yeah, that's the difference. And be honest with you, let's be honest. George Graham was not the first manager in football to take bungs. Are you telling me Terry Venables, with that Sir Alan Sugar as the owner at Spurs, didn't take a few naughties? Come on, come on.
Ferguson was at it as well.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's irrelevant talking, man. Hendo says Fulham won, Arsenal won. Oh, okay, fair enough. You're going down that road. Williams says we drew more games last season than the 2 seasons combined. Yep, there we are. There you go. Rob's saying I have a funny feeling we'll win 2-0, though I've got to wait till that lineup. Yes, now that's the thing, isn't it? We never know. We never flipping know. Gerard saying, Jez and Shane, what's the worst Arsenal team you've seen in your lifetime? Very good question. Shano.
I suppose it would have to be 94-ish. 93 we had finished 10th, but we won both cups, so I ain't having that, man. That was one of the happiest times of my life as an Arsenal fan. Absolutely delirious, to the point where the FA Cup still meant so much that I remember going out on the estate with the older lads. There were United, Liverpool fans and stuff like that. And the Liverpool fans were using Arsenal as a reason to say that United hadn't done as good as Arsenal because Arsenal had won both cups. They were saying that was better than the league. That's how big it was. But that was massive. So we finished 10th. And then obviously, 95. I said 94. 94, we won the Cup Winners' Cup. But we weren't great in the league again. And then 95, we got to the final, lost to Naeem. And we weren't great in the league. But apparently, that 95 team that Bruce Rioch then took over and got them up to 5th was a league winning team that Wenger walked into. Everything was there for him, apparently. I've heard now. That's the new narrative. He didn't have Ian Selly and Steve Morrow and these players to deal with. No. He just had a load of world beaters. Because as I was told, he walked into a team that had Overmars and Petit in it, Jez. Apparently Wenger didn't sign them. He walked into a team that had them, but this is the narrative. So I'd say that sort of 95-ish period. But then when Bruce Rioch came in, people say, he was only finished 5th and Bruce Rioch was manager. It was Bergkamp's first season, mate. Trust me. That was one of my favourite ever seasons to be an Arsenal fan. Dennis Bergkamp, Ian Wright, David Platt, Paul Merson. Yeah, we didn't finish where we probably should have, but it looked like things were on the up-ish. It wasn't as bad. But I'd say if I had to pick, it would be that 95 just before Rioch, between George Graham's last year and Rioch was probably the worst I've seen, as in for quality. But we still have that back five, Jay. So we were still very, very hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, was the 74 team. Towards the end of Bertie Mees' days. Yeah. We'd got rid of a lot of players. Didn't invest. Typical Arsenal, really, back in the day. Nearly got relegated that year, along with Man United when they got relegated. We were a very, very, very poor team. It was only the fact we drew the last game of the season that we actually escaped relegation. And that was without a doubt for me the worst season, worst team. We had some poor players, and we'd let players go out. Some very good players go out the door, and just never brought any player back in to replace them. And we didn't hear. Well, the thing is, Ray Kennedy went off to Liverpool for greatness, won European Cups, league championships. League Cups, FA Cups, and we never brought him a player to replace him. And the thing is, the only thing is there, Shane, right? You never heard the stories about how Arsenal got no money because it was a different time then.
Yeah.
The difference is now there is, in my opinion, if you want my honest belief in it, far too much money in football now. Yes, I think players costing £100+ million is nonsensical.
Yeah.
Hence, I said in that book I was showing you there, when they talk about, if I can find the page, there it is, almost on the right page. Dennis Law, £55,000 when he went from Huddersfield to Man City.
What a player.
Jimmy Greaves, 1961, 99,000, Milan to Spurs. Then Dennis Law again, 116,000, Turin to Man United. Players in the academy. Sorry, not the academy. We've got players on more than that a week. That's minor money, isn't it? 200 grand. That's small money nowadays. A week, and yet there's in that 1971 Christmas annual, who will be the £200,000 player? I remember who was it? The first £1 million player.
Yeah, Trevor Francis.
Yeah,
and they even paid £1 less or something was the rumor, wasn't it? That club paid £1 less, just so it wouldn't be the 1 million. Don't know if it was just an urban legend, but that's what he claimed at the time. It's
mad. You think, I remember that £1 million. I thought, £1 million.
Crazy money, yeah.
1 million, because that was the sort of money back in the day, wasn't it? When the old pools, used to do the old pools thing, 11th and whatever. Yeah, I can't remember. I used to do it years and years ago. And you'd win and see somebody's won. Mrs. Rose has won £1 million on the pools, and you think, fucking hell, £1 million. When do you think now? I mean, I don't tell me. I'd love £1 million.
Yeah,
but it's nothing really nowadays, is it? When you see what you can win on lotteries and all that. Yeah, actually, 8 from 11 million. 8 from 11. That was the one. 8 from 11. That's what I used to do. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up shortly because I've got to go and have a quick bite to eat. And then I'm jumping over to Shaneo's at the Bruised Banana Show at 8:30 tonight, which I'm looking forward to that. It's always a good show. Mate, who have you got coming on tonight on the show?
It's yourself, Taryn and Normski and DJB. If he's around later, we'll hop on, but I don't think so. Thursday nights are quite tough from Aaron and Views are meant to be coming on, but stuff happens. But I like it when it's four. Four's a nice number to have. And I do have a few good points that I want to get into. Some of them will get the blood boiling, but some of them are just a bit of fun. But But I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to the Bruised Man. I love having the likes of yourself on. It's always a pleasure. And make sure that the people in the chat set your notifications. And if you do set your notifications, set your alarm as well, because YouTube have been not sending notifications for some bizarre reason best known to them. So make sure that you're over 8:30 on my channel when I sit down with the legends that are Jez, Normski and Taron to discuss all things Arsenal, all things football, and all things the Premier League being back.
Actually, that's a good. I was just going to ask you that. On your streams, are you still getting this processing will take place in 24 hours?
I don't think so. I never normally look, Jez. I never normally look, but I'll tell you now. I have it lined up here on my studio. I haven't been. Let me see the last one. Last one is here. Yeah, that's what it's saying there now. I've never looked before. Yeah, it's saying it. Yeah.
And that's a new thing that's happened in the last month, 6 weeks.
I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to clamp down on something or other. Do you know what I think it is? I was looking at it like I rarely put ads on, but when I do, like the people in the chat probably don't know. You're lucky if you get 2 or 3 quid off having ads on for a whole stream. You're quite lucky if you get that. You have to get over 1,000 views and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pain, right? But if you take, say, 10,000 channels that are getting, say, 4 quid a month off ads, I mean, you start going into if you have, say, 100,000 channels probably doing that if you go around the world, it's 400,000 quid or 500,000 or whatever that YouTube could be saving. So I think they're just trying to shave off the smaller channels, hoping they'll give up by just clamping down on everything. So I do think if the smaller channels stick it out, that it will pick back up again. Or that's what I'm telling myself. I just see it as a challenge, Jez, in life. If the views are dropping, I would have been thinking of that, oh, it's my fault, but it's literally everybody. Their views are down. They're just clearing out accounts and stuff like that. I don't know how these mutants still have multiple accounts if they're clearing out accounts, though. But it's just another test, Jez. That's the best thing about life. It's just stepping up the challenges and coming out the other end. You know what I mean? You know all about that yourself, sure.
I totally agree with what you've just said. I honestly do believe that it is purely and simply it's down to monetize channels. And don't forget, it was YouTube last year, maybe the year before, dropped the level of how many subs and watch hours you need to get monetized.
Yeah.
For me, it was 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
And it took a while. It took a long time to get monetized.
Yeah, the first one's tough, isn't it?
But then they dropped it down to whatever they did.
500 and 3,000. So they're probably regretting it now.
There you go. So now I think what YouTube, if they're not getting the ad revenue in that they were monthly, let's say 3 months back, then they've got to, as you quite rightly say, they've got to distribute. Let's say they're getting in 20 million a month, all from all the ad people. Now you think of all the, not just football, all the other channels out there talking about knitting, fishing.
Hundreds of thousands of channels, Jez. Millions of channels.
Millions of channels.
And it's the smaller ones added together, Jez, that will cost them the most. Like I said, if they're giving 4 quid to hundreds of thousands of channels, you add it up, you're talking millions. So they just want to get rid of them, trim the fat. I think that's what they're doing. I think if you stick it out, it'll pay back in the long run. I'd say a lot of channels are shutting them down now, going, it's not worth me while. I've only got 2,000 subs and I'm not making any money. I'll just shut it down. I can't be arsed.
And I have seen that. I have seen a couple of channels that I subscribe to haven't done anything. Nothing to do with football. Nothing to do with football. With fishing, actually.
Yeah.
And they've packed it up because they haven't, well, I presume they haven't done any content for about a month now.
Yep.
And I think that's a great shame because they run that lad. He was a young lad, 15. He wasn't the greatest of anglers, but he was very entertaining. And I used to really enjoy watching him. And I thought, well, fair play to you, mate. Keep going. But he hasn't done anything now for, well, it's got to be a good month.
There you go.
It's a bit cheeky. When I had that 2-hour debate twice with them, I said, why is my subs dropping and dropping? Are we doing house? They call it, what do they call it?
House cleaning.
We're getting rid of dead accounts that haven't watched or haven't whatever for about a year. And I said, well, what right is that of yours? What is it? What I mean, I don't agree with that. What does it matter?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a legal reason they can say, oh well, it hasn't been used in a certain amount of time. They can shut it down. I don't know. What I've been saying though to my chat and to people as well is any massive company that goes into a bit of financial difficulty and they want to trim the fat before they start making redundancies, they just make the working conditions a little harder to bear, and a certain percentage will just quit, and then they don't have to pay them redundancy. That's literally what they're doing, just on a larger scale. They're just making the working conditions a little tougher, and if all the little people quit, someone that was only making, like I said, £50 a month off them, or £70, whatever the cutoff is, if they're only making the £70, they've saved on that, and they've saved on that on hundreds of thousands of accounts. It's huge savings for them. So it looks like it's a pain in the arse to us, but like I said, people like you and myself that come from a different time, we just see it as a challenge. Fuck you, I'm not giving up. You know what I mean? I'll show you. You know what I mean? That's the attitude that we should have as Arsenal fans. We have that ingrained in us anyway.
True. No, fuck them. At the end of the day, and I actually got. They actually did me on one channel because I actually called them what I called them. But they didn't. Yeah. YouTube didn't like it, and they they took what they call it, limited ads, so that you can't monetize this show or whatever. I don't fucking know. And I went, who gives a shit? I don't earn nothing anyway. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm not making a living out of this. That's for sure. But anyway, Shano, as always, mate, we'll be jumping across to your channel at 8:30 tonight, which I'm looking forward to. The Bruised Banana, with esteemed guests that are coming on there. And we're going to wrap it up, people. It's been a short show. We talk about the game. And good luck, Arsenal, 5:30 Saturday night. And on that note, people, I'll do the outro and we're out of here. Take care, one and all. See you over on Shane's in a little bit. Take care.